Azulith Meswithma and welcome back to your channel Learn Tharifith. I'm glad to see you back in a new cultural episode. If it's your first time here, I am Ayub, your Rifan teacher, and I am making also videos about our culture and our heritage. Today we are unraveling one of the most mysterious part of our heritage, a mark of identity, tradition, and deep cultural meaning, worn with pride for both men and women. Sometimes inked into fabric, sometimes etched forever into the skin. Of course, I'm talking about Rifan or Amazigh tattoos. These ancient designs carry stories, beliefs, and secrets passed down generations. So sit down, because this will be a journey through our history, our symbolisms, and the untold stories behind one of the most iconic traditions, tattoos. But before talking about tattoos, I want to tell you that I made a website called www.learntharifith.com. Are you ready for this journey? أواحد أكيدي. The use of tattoos among Amazigh people dates from the Neolithic period, and it's linked to ancient beliefs and also supernatural elements among Amazigh people, with later Roman and Christian influences. For over 1,400 years, since the advent of Islam, this tradition remained in our culture until 1970, when it stopped neat because of our religion. Imagine this: you're standing in the middle of Ramrah, which is the center of Rifan traditional house. The sun is sitting in a blaze of orange and gold, casting long shadows over your Rifan village. Around you, women with intricate tattoos on their faces and on their hands sitting together. Some of them weaving carpets that tell stories older than time itself. Others are singing Rellabuya in harmony, their hands move in rhythmic precision, each knot carrying a message, a memory, a piece of history. But these tattoos and patterns aren't just art. They are a language, a map of identity, and a shield against the unknown. They hold wisdom passed down by generations, whispers of ancestors that walked these lands way before us. Today, we embark into a new journey. A journey to explain the symbolism of these tattoos. A journey to explain also why our ancestors had tattoos all over their bodies. Tattoos that we call Tharifith or thigges. We will explore also how these tattoos or these thigges shaped the Amazigh identity and why they remain deeply relevant until today. With intense concentration, the tattooist began to shape the design on the skin using black charcoal. This preliminary drawing serves as a guide, ensuring precision in the final tattoo. Once the design is carefully outlined, the actual tattooing process begins. Using a fine needle, the tattooist pricks the marked area repeatedly, piercing the skin layer until small droplets of blood emerge. This step is both painful and crucial, as it allows the pigment to embed deeply into the skin. Next, the wounded area is rubbed with burnt soot, ensuring the dark pigment seeps into skin pores. This mixture of ash and blood is what gives to the tattoo its permanent color. The tattoo is then let to sit for a while, allowing the pigment to be absorbed properly. For sterilization and healing, the tattooist usually uses a mixture of salted water and medicinal herbs. This natural antiseptic helps prevent infection while soothing the skin. Over the next few days, the tattooed area begins to scab, and after about a week, the wound fully heals, revealing a deep greenish-blue tattoo. The final result is a bold and striking mark, often taking the form of a letter, a palm, a tree, a snake, or just a fine line. Each of these symbols carry a profound and deep cultural meaning, reflecting the deep connection between human and nature, as well as the timeless desire to replicate its beauty on the body. The essential materials for this process include a needle, charcoal, burnt soot residues, salted water, and herbs for sterilization. The Amazigh are indigenous inhabitants of North Africa. Their history stretches back for thousands of years, long before the rise of great empires, long before colonial ruler, long before the world was divided by borders and nations. They have lived across Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Mali, Egypt, and beyond these countries, adapting to mountains, deserts, and coastal regions with a remarkable resilience. And despite waves of foreign invasions like Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, French, Spanish invasions, we remain deeply connected to our traditions and our culture. The symbols in our culture are not just decorative elements as they appear today. They are markers of resistance, survival, and spirituality. They have been carved into rocks, woven into textile, and etched in the skin. These symbols are passed down through generations as a silent yet powerful way of communication. Before widespread literacy, symbols played a crucial role in transmitting our traditions and our culture. Every tattoo, every woven pattern, every carved stone had a meaning. They weren't just for aesthetics. They were functional, sacred, and deeply personal. For example, a woman's tattoo could indicate her tribe, her marital status, her role in society, or even serve as a protective charm. In some communities, certain patterns were believed to ward off evil spirits or bring fertility and prosperity. In the same time, Amazigh carpets weren't just a household object. It was a woven map of the soul, a narrative visual of the weaver's life experiences, and a visual of their dreams. These symbols served as spiritual guardians, as storytellers, and markers of identity. They were a way to say, this is who I am, and this is where I come from. Even today, as modernity transforms traditions, these symbols continue to live on, sometimes in new forms, but always carrying the weight of history. Now that we laid the foundations, it's time to go deep into the meaning of these tattoos. From the symbol of freedom to those of protection, fertility, and guidance, each one carries a fascinating story, waiting to be uncovered. So stay with me as we continue this journey into the world of Amazigh symbols. Now that we understand the importance of Amazigh symbols or Amazigh tattoos, let's take a closer look into their meaning. Let's start with the most famous Amazigh symbol, the letter Yaz. If you've ever seen the Amazigh flag, you've likely noticed the striking emblem at its center. The Yaz symbol represents freedom, resilience, and the unbreakable spirit of the Amazigh people. It is a declaration of identity, independence, and cultural pride. Historically, Amazigh people fought for their independence, resisting the foreign rulers for centuries. The Yaz symbol embedded in Amazigh alphabet, serving as a reminder that Amazigh people will never be assimilated and will never be erased. It can be found in traditional tattoos, in carpentry, in pottery, and modern-day activism, symbolizing an enduring cultural legacy. Even today, many young Amazigh are wearing this symbol, Yaz, as jewelry, reaffirming their heritage. If you visit Amazigh communities, you will see this symbol carved into wooden doors, painted on village walls, and embroidered into clothing. Next, we have the eye, one of the most ancient and universal symbol of protection against evil eye. Many cultures around the world have variation of this belief, and the Amazigh are not an exception. The concept of the evil eye, or Thitawiniuden, is still, until today, in our culture. It suggests that negative energy or jealousy from other people can affect our body and can affect also our soul, bringing misfortune, sickness, or even death. To combat this, Amazigh women, through generations, carved this eye into their hands, their forehead, or their chins, believing that the eye will protect them and their family from negative energy or jealousy. Interestingly, Amazigh people also use blue beads and reflective surfaces like polished metals or mirrors to enhance the protective power of the eye symbol. The triangle. The triangle is one of the most important symbols and tattoos in our Amazigh or Rifan tradition, representing femininity, fertility, and the life cycle. In many Amazigh societies, the triangle reflects the connection between the three essential or basic elements of nature: earth, water, and sky, which sustains all life. For Amazigh women and Rif also, this symbol is very personal. Traditionally, they will receive this symbol or this tattoo after a marriage or after a childbirth, signifying their role as life givers and protectors of future generations. The triangle is also an essential element of Amazigh carpets, where it is often represented as a repeating pattern to symbolize continuity and strength. In fact, the number 3 holds an essential and important place in our Amazigh culture. Many ancient ceremonies and rituals involve 3 offerings, 3 steps, 3 repetitions, or 3 movements. This triadic structure is reflected in the triangle's importance in Amazigh symbolism, making it a powerful representation of natural balance that sustains life. The hand, or al-khamsa, as we modernly call it, is one of the most widely recognized Amazigh symbols, serving as a talisman of creativity, protection, and skills. This symbol is known to ward off evil forces while keeping its wearer blessed. Amazigh artisans like weavers, potters, or silversmiths often incorporate this symbol into their art. The hand in their work represents craftsmanship, creativity, and generational transmission of these artistic skills. You will find it woven into rugs, or carved into furniture, or stamped into traditional jewelry. The khamsa is also a feminine symbol. It is only dedicated to women. Many Amazigh women tattooed it into their body, believing that it will protect them and their family and bring prosperity. Amazigh jewelry, by the way, is often made of silver, a metal that itself is considered to have protective qualities. The moon and stars. The moon and stars played an essential role in Amazigh spirituality, representing guidance, time, and the connection between humans and the divine. Nomadic Amazigh tribes who traveled through the desert and mountains relied on the stars for navigation, both physically and spiritually. In some Amazigh beliefs, the crescent moon symbolizes also femininity and renewal, while the stars represents the spirits of ancestors watching over their descendants. These symbols are also often used in jewelry, tattoos, and carpentry, ensuring that their guiding force remains closer. Animals hold a special place in Amazigh tattoos, each one carrying a lesson, a story, or a representation of someone's experience and qualities. Let's take for example the lion, or in Rifan-ism. He represents the strength, the bravery, and leadership. It is often used to represent leaders of the tribes or warriors. The camel, ergem in Rifan language, is used to represent for nomadic people the endurance, the survival, and adaptability to the environment. Although it is common in nomadic tribes, it is really rare in Rifan culture. The fish, esrem, this one is frequently used in the Rif. It is a symbol of abundance and prosperity. Amazigh communities that live near the waters, for example, Rifan tribes, use it as a symbol of good fortune. The bird, ajdid, in Rifan language. It represents the freedom, the vision, and spiritual connection. Birds are believed to be connectors or messengers between our world and other worlds, carrying messages and carrying wisdom. The scorpion, thrirdent. It is a sign of protection and resilience together. Many Amazigh warriors wore scorpion symbols or tattoos around their hands or their arms, and they carved it also in their armors, believing that it will make them invincible. As we've seen, the Amazigh symbols are rich with meaning, intertwined into daily life, and also with beliefs and identity. Whether representing freedom, fertility, fortune, or protection, these symbols have stood the test of time, carrying with them the voices of our ancestors and the strength of an enduring culture. The Amazigh culture is not a relic of the past. It is alive, it is breathing and thriving, thanks to new generation of historians, of activists and artists. These symbols and traditions are not just surviving, but flourishing in new and exciting ways. As we move forward, we must ask ourselves the deep question: how do we honor the past while embracing the future? The answer for me relies in respect, knowledge. The best way to protect our culture is to live it, to share it with others, and pass it on the new generations.
غتستيمخ ما غادي حمجاين زمادني غير تجيب انت دين تفريون كان خيخ فينومي دس طربخيم باغا داية الجرق تفريون ودني ومي داية الجا يسيب لكيتنين تمجارين راخذ قاثني قياشون وش بس مجارين نيا هما داية كذا بريد قسماتينو
يا عمي يجي غدا مزيان ويغابي ذا السوق نمشي ما كويس سمت عقد نسوق غايش توسن سفريوني شاغدا يتزق ثموت تو نفيش ومي فقدام فوكا يمكن لي صعربة يا ايتزن ما يدرك كيدب الزكسوت كي زماني كي غيا ترك حت حنجات حتى تزرات كذا فريونتينس انت قلت ربوت ماشي واي غايك فوز كي خسناش يا قولغ رسق دي غطن يا مزري غجوس من نفوذاك سختيت هي غزاك سفريو من أي لان تقيت ودارت قاعد معها.
In the next part of our journey, we'll explore how these symbols are woven into Amazigh carpets, one of the most enduring forms of visual storytelling. Wait a minute. Now I need you to tell me in the comments what symbol resonates with you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because a half of those who watch these videos are not subscribed. And don't forget to follow us on our website www.learntharifith.com, so you will find these videos. In order, you will find also articles that speak about our culture, our heritage, and you will find also merch designed by me, like this t-shirt. It is a really beautiful t-shirt, and I recommend you to buy it on our website. It will encourage me to make more of these videos. And most important, spread the word. Spread the word. Share these videos with your friends and family. Our culture, Amazigh culture, needs to be shared. سيتي ما تري عجبكم فيديويا. Until the next one. قاكم أقشكم دين.